LeBron, yeah.
Yeah, versus Bron. Guys, so check this out, man. I told y'all we needed a part 2. So I got both of my basketball experts here, man. The only question I really want to start off with not Kobe, but Jordan versus LeBron. The only thing I need from you guys is there anything LeBron could do during the playoffs that would make you say, all right, he better than Jordan?
No.
Not for me.
No?
No, I would agree, but only because he believes that nothing LeBron can do to pass Jordan. I believe LeBron does enough to pass him. Only to say this.
So what he did already that to say, all right, he better than Jordan.
Okay, you talking about a dude that averaged 25 points a game for 17 straight years, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, what's the next person to say that? Nobody can say that. The next closest person is 12 years. And I think that's Kobe. Maybe Jordan. You know what I mean? Not only that, but what else a nigga did, man? It was some other shit that fucked my head up. But, besides from the playoff points and all that other shit, that's only because he done played in so many. Mm-hmm. But you talking about going the 7 straight finals and damn near being a walking franchise. Yeah, you can say on some of those teams that he left, there was other players that left too. But there was one particular team that he left to go to L.A. his first year. Before he went to L.A. his first year, that last team he had in Cleveland wasn't all that great. Now, nothing against, Jordan Clarkson or nothing like that, but he was nowhere near the player he is right now. Mm-hmm. And he's in consideration for 6th man of the year. Mm-hmm. Now, back when he was
that was one of LeBron's most impressive seasons, if you ask me.
Yeah, that was that one where he beat Golden State.
No, he didn't beat him. He lost to him.
He lost to him, but just making it.
No, but actually, he got swept because when he got there, he in game 1 he put up 50 points, and then shit went downhill. But all in all, it was impressive because they didn't think he was supposed to get that far after losing Kyrie. So, in that sense, but it was something else that really stuck out to me with him, but besides the 17 years straight, averaging 25 a game. You know what I'm saying? He averaging 7 assists. Ain't no other player closer to that average that many points, gonna average that many assists for their career. And then the rebound, same thing, 7. It's average, but I would say it's above average for a small forward.
Yeah, but it's his position that get him that many rebounds like that. Because if you want to compare him to a Larry Bird got more rebounds.
Did LeBron?
Yeah, way more.
He might have more in total, but he does average more per game. Mm-hmm. But Larry Bird also was 6'10",
6'9".
Okay, so you still 2 inches taller than Bron.
Oh, you saying height? Bron 6'9" too.
Thought he was 6'7", but yeah, okay. He could be 6'9". We don't know for sure. But yeah. But being that basketball,
if you look at rebounding is more positional. Because you ain't gonna have your guards that's going, unless you Russell Westbrook. You ain't gonna have your guards that's gonna rebound like that. Most of your rebounders are gonna be your power forwards and your centers.
Yeah, and small. But remember, it's funny you said that because the year when Jordan came back, they lost to Orlando. Scotty led the team in the rebound, and he played small forward. So you look at somebody like LeBron, he's doing everything. He's leading in points, steals, blocks in the finals.
Yeah, but when you talk, the more impressive rebounder was Michael Jordan. Because if you, like I say, it's all positional. You just judge it for instance, Michael Jordan.
I'm just saying, you saying about the numbers and position.
Michael Jordan got more offensive rebounds than
right. Okay.
LeBron, and that's something that's not positional. That tells you a real rebounder.
Yeah, no, but see.
So offensive rebounds count more to you than defensive rebounds?
No, it's easier to judge off the better rebounder by offensive rebounds because it's not positional.
Oh.
Jordan and LeBron play different positions, so of course LeBron gonna get more defensive rebounds because he in position to get more. Jordan is normally guarding the guard of the team.
Right, but we can also
and he's not guarding the dominant guard because that's what Pippen doing. So he probably guarding the guard that's off in the corner somewhere.
Right. So that's what. So I'm saying. So it kind of what you're basically saying is Jordan got more numbers in that area because of his position, just like LeBron got in his. Mm-hmm. So But I'm just speaking on in the sense in the clutch moments when you need a rebound. Think he had got the rebound they got to Ray Allen. Oh, I'm sorry, that was
Bosh.
Yeah, that was Bosh.
But yeah, but
you know,
a lot of what they like LeBron is great. I don't want to.
So you're right.
I never want to diminish LeBron because he is great. They talk about Ray Allen.
He's not better than Jordan.
Yeah, he's just not better than Jordan. Jordan was on God level, bro. And it's like I understand why some people just like don't give him the credit that I feel like he deserved. Is because a lot of the narrative surrounded by Jordan was media driven. And they wanted to make him out to be this great figure. But the thing is he absolutely lived up to that. Like he was not only box office, but he was one of the most athletic players to ever play, mixed with one of the most technical players to ever play. You know what I'm saying? With a 6'6" body, 6'11" wingspan. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ran a 4.3 in the 40. Reportedly had a 48-inch vertical. You know, we know it's 46 for sure at least, because that's what he got in college. It's like this is the man. The man is a monster. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing that could compare him.
That's I mean, I feel you on that. I mean, those are like good stats, and that is what you said is your criteria.
No, that's not my criteria. I'm just saying, like, if you just look, normally your real what he is, if you want to put him in today's game, he's Kawhi Leonard with Russell Westbrook athleticism. Right.
And because that would be two players combined into one based on he was so ahead of his time as far as his athleticism.
His size and length.
Yeah, exactly.
He's about as tall as Kawhi Leonard, long as Kawhi Leonard, big hands like Kawhi Leonard. But he's way more athletic than Kawhi Leonard.
Well, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So this is that like just that prototype of player. He's ahead of what LeBron James ilk is. LeBron James is big, quick, not as athletic as Michael Jordan. Not as athletic as Michael Jordan. Why you say that? Because he's not. Michael Jordan faster, jump higher.
I would say Jordan jumped higher for his height.
We can't even compare that.
I would
Jordan
say
still got the highest vertical.
It's not higher than David Thompson's.
Well, highest supposedly.
No, it's really David Thompson. This is the deal.
Yeah. He got a 48-inch vertical.
The Jordan could definitely jump. Nobody's taking that. I wouldn't take nothing from him. The thing is, people like to confuse the 80s Jordan with the 90s Jordan and try to combine them into one and then say that this is why Jordan's so great. When Jordan wasn't winning, that's when he was at his best.
I disagree with that.
I'm going to tell you why.
He's most athletic.
Because he healed quickly from injuries. Mm-hmm. In the early 90s, he started dealing with that. His body couldn't hold up.
Mid-90s.
No. That's why he retired the first
91,
time.
He was still.
I'm talking after his first. I'm just after his first.
After the first retirement, true.
His knees.
But he still had 3 years in there where he was.
Yes. No. I'm not saying he wasn't good. My point is this: Jordan is probably the most entertaining player you can say ever. If you want to say that, I would totally agree. You know why? Because the style of play they played back then catered to stars. Yep. They don't. The style of play now. Why you think now? We were just talking about it earlier. How guys can come out of nowhere and put up 30. You like, damn, ain't no dude can play what they got. Mm-hmm. So when you got guys in this, but that's what the game has turned into. Back then, it's more so the only way you gonna ever dream of getting 30 is if you the star of the team.
It was a slower pace.
Exactly. So you got less shots up, right? Well, they had a lot to do with it. I'm not saying that always equates to having less shots. Mm-hmm. Because somebody showed me differently. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Jason Babler. But he did show me examples. But that also got a lot to do with, I think, with the rebounding as well. You know what I'm saying? Rebounders and putbacks and whatnot. But not get off subject, just get to the point.
That's why you see players got much better stats now.
Of course.
I think the game
so changed. In a sense,
the rules of the game changed.
Yeah,
of course. Those games,
it's catered more to the guards. It wasn't catered more to the guards back
in the 80s.
True. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, it was more catered to the big men.
True.
So now they're taking away the back and putting you. If you're going to play with your back to the rim, you got to make a move in damn near 2 seconds. You already got to make a decision on what you can do based back in the day. If you was outside that paint, you back somebody down, you can take your time. Boom. And the bitch either going to come with a double team or bitch, your man gonna get abused on the way to doing offense scoring. So doing offense, the big man not only gets into a rhythm,
right,
but the dude guarding him is getting worn down. You know what I'm saying? Possibly in foul trouble. That's what we talking about, dominant big man back in the day. So now they took that out because that playing like that really slowed the game down. But it was effective if you had good guys that knew how to work the paint.
Yep.
Moses Malone, one of the best at it. He the one taught Hakeem Olajuwon. He's the one considered the greatest center of the 90s. So, I mean, the whole situation with Jordan, and the reason why I would say yes, Jordan was a bad man.
Right.
In the 90s. So when it came to the first few years when in the 90s, when these teams was trying, the one that just came into the league, the one that had less, even though a lot of them came in the late 80s, you know, Miami and Charlotte, Orlando, I think came on in the late 80s. Okay. I think Toronto was the last team of all the expansion teams. So when people get mad at me and say, I'm trying to discredit Jordan, not really, because I just try to keep it like it is, because I've heard a lot of Jordan fans, and me and you both can attest to this, bro. They're talking about how much help LeBron has had, which I agree. In a team-oriented sport, the way the rules are now, you need more players. You need more stuff. Look at Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at LeBron,
I wouldn't even say that. What I would say is it's different. The type of players that was more important back then was different than the type of players that's more important now. So the thing is, with the way that the rules were set up, you didn't necessarily have to have a team full of shooters, because just you standing outside of the 3-point line can pull the defender unless they want a hard double team.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it makes them more susceptible to hard double team or somebody who can't absolutely shoot. But
if you got somebody who quick and
cut to the basket,
exactly, get to the lane.
So it was just a different style of play. So like when people say that like players now are more talented, what they are is the game is more geared towards the perimeter, so they're more, talented like for the perimeter stuff like ball handling. You got more players on the court that can shoot now, and they're willing to shoot deeper, threes and.
Well, that's what well, of course, the crowd likes the long ball these days.
Yeah.
Especially what happened with LeBron, him hitting the shot over Curry, which is some irony to it. You know what I mean? Because Curry was the one hitting people with daggers like that.
I seen that game, boy.
Yeah, So yeah, of course, to see the tables kind of turn. That's why I was telling somebody too. That I don't know. That depending on what happened this year, LeBron a 3-peat. If he wins it this year some kind of way, he's going to win another. He's going to, and a lot of people's eyes, because LeBron hasn't 3-peated, that's probably one of the things you can hang over his head in comparison to Jordan. If we're trying to really be technical about who has a better legacy, but LeBron some kind of way has a 3-peat, but mess around and win multiple titles on 2 different teams, but wins the title on 3 different teams. Basically showing you win wherever he goes, wherever he is, what happens. Like
now, if I think LeBron 3-peats, then there might be a conversation to be had. Might be, all right, might be. And the only reason I say that strong might is because Jordan accomplished this in way less time.
You said competition is. Say it again.
I say Jordan accomplished this in way less time.
Way less time.
Mm-hmm. Jordan accomplished 6 championships in what?
Yes, and I would totally agree. And that's where, as far as we're talking about his numbers, I don't really argue numbers because we're talking like 2 different eras and 2 different eras. Like no way that, like for me, the way I see LeBron's approach to the game and the strategy that he got to deal with, like you can't approach the game the same way when Jordan played. So when people try to argue and say, "Oh, LeBron is soft," or he doesn't have a killer instinct, I kind of look at people and like, do you really know basketball? Because you can't just go out there and think you're going to take over. Bitch, just ask Giannis.
I agree with that. LeBron does not have that instinct at the end of the game that I'm going to bring it home.
Are you talking about? Yeah, I think he has. I think he does. His approach is different.
He ain't got it.
For him,
he ain't got it. And I'm going to tell you why he ain't got it. He ain't got it because his mid-range game ain't never been on the level like Jordan has, and his free throw game always been shaky.
Okay, so he won against San Antonio in Game 7 with his mid-range.
Yeah, but he also lost against San Antonio by them forcing him to shoot mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, because guess what? He didn't.
Never
outside of Ray Allen,
you could never do that to Michael Jordan.
Well, that's different.
Right.
I don't think they would have let Jordan be comfortable enough to just take that shot, because when he was more of a jump shooter, he got probably more fouls called for him. Ironically, for me, that's strange for a jump shooter.
That's when he went into the post. He got more fouls called for him. He became more of a post player in the second.
Yes, he was. He did play in the post. I absolutely agree. I wouldn't argue that, and I've even seen him in the post on the upper elbow. Now, I wouldn't say down deep in the post all the time. It's more so on the elbow, because he can still shoot his fadeaway from
If you look at his first championship he won, he led the team, I think, in the finals in points and assists. He was getting a lot more assists. He was playing a lot more from the perimeter as the ball handler.
You said in which finals did?
In the first finals.
Yeah, 91
against Magic.
Yeah.
So like towards the end of his career, when he was losing his athleticism a little bit, he started playing in the paint a lot more. Now,
of course.
Yeah.
But see, I mean, I feel like, in a sense, that's why if you want to say Jordan has a better legacy, I can agree. Mm-hmm. Because it's just certain things that the league's going to make sure that Jordan had that they're not going to make guaranteed for LeBron. And if they do, it's going to be for later in the year. I mean, it's going to be later in his career. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just like I say, eventually, if he win it all this year, which I think he got a good chance. Shit, that's really going to put him in the conversation. But if he wins one next year and ties them, you have 6, you have 12 appearances.
Then it's a real conversation.
So now, all of a sudden, it's okay, how can you say he's not better? But the reason why I say he's better, because we just talking about 2 basketball players. Mm-hmm. As far as at basketball and being in a team concept, LeBron is better. We're talking about NBA. We're not talking about one-on-one all the time who's better. Because even still, I still get it.
One-on-one matter a lot, because if you can't guard me one-on-one.
But that's not the thing, because I feel like LeBron can guard one-on-one.
No, hell no. Shit.
I don't know about that.
Boy, let me tell you something.
But that's Black Cat.
For me,
they don't call it Black Cat for nothing.
Yeah, but dog,
I don't know
Jordan struggled.
one.
Listen, understand what I'm telling you. LeBron is more when he was in his prime, he can lock down, and he was just as good as any defender you name. Just as good as KG.
Nah, LeBron was never as good a defender as Michael Jordan.
Bro, are you?
What
player? No, let me ask you something.
Yo.
In crunch time, LeBron locked D Rose down.
He did not lock D Rose down.
Okay,
the whole team locked D Rose down.
He locked D Rose down.
What happened was Tom Thibodeau wouldn't play Kyle Korver, and we had a whole bunch of non-shooters on the court, so they packed the paint.
Yeah, of course, they kept him out of the paint.
That's
of course, they kept. That's what I'm saying. They kept him out of the paint. Jordan never. But think about it. Jordan never had to face nothing like that.
Because he had Pippen.
No. You could not set your defense up that way to stop a player.
Saying Pippen was the guy. Pippen was the guy who normally guarded the.
But he.
Well, I don't know, because Jordan guarded Reggie Miller.
But Reggie Miller. Yeah, but that was. Nah, he was probably one of the greatest shooters.
He was the best perimeter threat on that team.
Oh yeah, on the team. Yeah. Oh, okay. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
That's what I was thinking about too. I always thought like Jordan was a more intense defender, for sure.
But that's why I ask people.
For sure though.
Jordan,
but that plays a big part. The intensity of the person defending you play a big part.
Yeah, but who was he locking down? If you think about what did he lock down in history? Who really come to mind?
Who did LeBron lock down?
Like I said, he locked down D Rose.
He didn't lock down D Rose. I can't give him that.
There was times where
he played against
he put
D
the clamps on that man.
Quarter.
In certain, I'm just talking about in certain key moments of the game, bro. He stepped up and showed he can defend this man. This is what I'm saying. D Rose is better than any guard Jordan ever defended, and Mitch Richmond is damn good. Shit, D Rose in his prime. Come on, man. This nigga.
Like I say, the whole team guarded D Rose. That wasn't just a LeBron thing.
But at certain moments when it was him, mano y mano.
It was never mano y mano. That's what
no, of course, no. If you want to say is the way the strategy is set up, yeah. I'd agree. But yes, I got a crew of niggas behind me, but if I'm up in your shit and you ain't gonna kill me with your crossover, I ain't letting you by me.
Yeah,
that you gonna shoot. You gonna take a bad shot. Okay.
You can't shoot over me.
Oh, exactly. But that's my point. That the man showed that he can D up, D roll. Come to my that's locking somebody down. That's probably the closest thing you're gonna get to ISO defense and just ISO ball.
Like
period.
you say, the defense is played differently now.
Exactly.
Because you can shade off a little bit, and it's much. You can design a defensive strategy. You have much more leeway to devise a defensive strategy to shut somebody down now. Back then, it was a lot more one-on-one.
Of course, but that's the only way but that is the style that catered to star-like players.
But if you look at Michael Jordan was a much better help defender than LeBron James. If you look at his steals, his blocks, all of that is more. He got more blocks, more steals than LeBron.
Well, I would just like I say, that has a lot to do with how the strategy is. It's
Well, it ain't like LeBron be guarding the best player either. They both play off ball.
Yeah, of course. But in certain key moments, I can name more instances where LeBron guarded players that predominantly handled the ball on the other team.
I'll give you one, Tony Parker. And he got his ass worked.
Yeah, but
he got his ass worked by Tony Parker. So
course.
that was a more example of him guarding somebody straight up and he working his ass. See, the problem with LeBron was his first step. LeBron first step ain't as quick as Jordan is much quicker than LeBron.
Of course. I don't disagree with that. But the thing is, for somebody to not have the first step, he doesn't even have if people want to say he doesn't have a go-to shot, for somebody that doesn't have a go-to shot, he's only second to Kobe when it comes to clutch shot moments. Meaning LeBron got 97, Kobe got 101.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is somebody who's considered a pass first type player, if you want to call it that, because of the number of shots that he takes a game. So when people say his athleticism doesn't match to Jordan, you're basically trying to compare and try to say that the tools that Jordan had makes him superior to LeBron. But I feel like both of them had their own tools and their own skill set.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't compare the two and be like, well, Jordan better because he got a quicker first step.
I'm just saying, the Jordan skill set is more suitable to be a better NBA player than what LeBron's skill set is. LeBron, the main skill set of LeBron is strength. If you want to be honest with you.
Yes,
more so than speed, and he got the top end speed.
But he also has a mid range and a 3-ball, and he can play in the post.
Game is decent now, but it ain't.
I'm gonna tell you.
No, hell no.
It is to me. I'm gonna tell you something. I seen where Jordan will have off games and the Biss won't touch him, and the refs put him to the line because the nigga misses so much.
He got favorable calls. I never denied that. I would never deny that.
All right. Now I'm
Jordan
not saying
got a lot
that.
Of favorable calls.
Now I'm not saying that just to like trying to shit on man legacy. I'm trying to make a point.
That's a fact.
When there's certain points when it's time to give, when LeBron is actually fouled and the motherfucker don't call it, then they say, oh yeah, he can't get off whatever, but they locking his ass up. People not looking at it from the same perspective. I kind of feel like shit is a motherfucking agenda, but at the same time, it's like I gotta rock with the motherfucker.
I mean, that's absolute facts. I don't want to deny that point, but just off what you see, the LeBron's mid-range game ain't at an elite level.
Shit,
you can't put LeBron mid-range game up there with a Kawhi Leonard.
But for his career, but think about this.
Than LeBron.
Kawhi Leonard's game is centered around
Kawhi Leonard
mid-range.
ain't even on Michael Jordan mid-range level.
I think Kawhi Leonard's mid-range is better.
No, hell no.
I'm considering what he's playing against and what he's up against. If he's playing the 90s, man, his numbers would be higher. Man, with his athleticism and his size, you say he's less athletic than Jordan. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not.
We talking about 90s Jordan.
He just got size.
We talking about 90s Jordan.
Yeah. Early 90s Jordan.
I would say
the best Jordan was 91 to 93.
Yes, it was. And then 96 to 98, it was when they
less
stacked
athletic,
the deck for him.
More smarter, more paint version.
I'm going to put it like this. If you somebody who's getting a shitload of goddamn free throws and you shooting jump shots, you compare him to motherfuckers who shoot predominantly jump shots. And he's still getting to the line like he a big man. There's something wrong with that, huh?
Because he playing the post like a big man. He was playing in the paint.
Yeah, he was. But he wasn't all... A bitch didn't have to touch him.
He's more athletic than an average big man. So he going to be quicker, and he going to draw more mismatches.
I'm not going to say Jordan wasn't skilled.
Yeah.
But his talent and his skill was diminishing. You go look back and tell you the story. Shit. He was still talented.
You talking about athletically.
Athletically
he declined. I agree with that.
Skill-wise, too.
What you mean by skill? Like
he still wasn't. I mean, to me, all he had to do was shoot as much as he wanted because he had everybody else to do everything else. And from 96 to 98, that's really what it was. Even sometime when he wanted scoring, Kukoc step in and put up some numbers.
True, he was on. That was a great team.
That's what I'm saying. So when people talk about Jordan, they want to say the reason why he's better because of how much he won.
Nah, it's not just because of how much he won. You could look at accolades. He got more accolades than LeBron too.
But I don't. But see that's what I'm saying. Well, even
MVPs.
when you. But that's the thing. When you're talking about MVPs and all that stuff, reason why I don't really, to me, that's thrown out the window only because there were times where LeBron, okay, remember when he got MVP, they gave your boy Marc Gasol Defensive Player of the Year. And Marc Gasol was third team all defense. LeBron was first team all defense.
I agree that Marc Gasol shouldn't have won Defensive Player of the Year that year, but I don't agree that it should have been LeBron.
But
it should have been Joakim Noah. So I'm gonna just say that like that.
But
so
even though, but that's probably the year LeBron beat them, right?
That's why your boy was second team defense that year because Joakim Noah was first team.
Who was second team that year? LeBron was first team.
Marc Gasol.
Yeah, he was third team that year.
Well, whatever team he was on.
But he was second team. Cause they only got two teams on defense.
It was it Dwight? It was either Dwight Howard or because I want to say it was Joakim Noah who was first team. It might have been Dwight Howard though.
Right.
But I think, in my opinion, Joakim Noah deserved Defensive Player of the Year that year.
But all I'm gonna say is, but if you're talking about what was his numbers? Well, I guess his plus minus was just off the chain that year.
Yeah.
Okay.
LeBron, that was the peak of his defensive career.
Okay, so
he ain't never been that good at defense
since
he was with Miami.
At Miami?
Yeah.
After he shut that shit down.
He just wasn't his athletic. That was his athletic peak.
That's what turned me off to LeBron being the greatest when he did that shit.
Yeah, that 2010.
Yeah.
2011.
2010.
You talking about when he lost to Dallas?
Yeah. That's the biggest thing against his career.
Of course, that's definitely the biggest smear, but it's still things that he's done and no other player is going to say they've done.
Yeah, honestly, me personally, I got him number 2.
I know you got him right behind MJ.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But I mean, to a degree, I understand why MJ fans feel like they have an argument. I really do. But if we speaking on not only longevity, but the shit that he done made motherfuckers do in that league, and of course it's different because players didn't have that type of freedom back when Jordan played. But anytime you make Kevin Durant leave a team, like leave Russ, bro. Russ ain't no bad player, even though sometimes they do some crazy ass shit. Like you just be jacking up too much. But anyway, the whole thing with LeBron is, for me, you can just get guys to go join, like a guy who's a former MVP just like you. You got 2 former MVPs in their prime, along with another guy who's first team all defense and who's been Defensive Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. Okay? You got another dude that's probably second team all NBA. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And 3 of those guys, and that's probably the best combination of 3 men you could ever have shooting a basketball right now historically to date.
For a fact.
You make KD do that. There is no other team I can say that's built anywhere near that ever in history.
I think the Bulls can argue about and the Heat to a certain extent can argue about being that strong just because their perimeter defense. But as far as shooting, ain't nobody coming even close to that.
Yeah, of course. The shooting is just crazy. But to me, defensively, they was locked down.
Defensive too.
Because Clay was
a top defense too.
That's what I'm saying. Clay was that dude at defender. I don't know.
It's hard to fault LeBron, especially that year that Kyrie and Kevin Love was hurt.
Yeah,
you can't fault LeBron for that loss.
Yeah,
you can't fault LeBron for that one, and you can't fault LeBron for 2018 when he just had Kevin Love.
Right. But not only that, remember 2007 when he played San Antonio? There's no help. Who even had on that team? Come on, man.
I don't agree with that one. I think if LeBron was...
Wait, so you really feel like the Cavs had a chance at beating the Spurs?
I think the Spurs were the favorites. But the reason the Spurs were the favorites is because if you bring 2018 version of LeBron to 27, that would have been a series. 2007, that would have been a series. But his mid-range game was below average at that point. he really developed his mid-range game to be at least. I think it's above average now. It ain't elite, but he got an above average mid-range game. So you can't just force him to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna beat your ass.
Right.
But back then in 2007, it wasn't developed to that point.
It was more so get to the rack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I agree, but that's why he would always try to get the ball in transition.
No other takeover scores on that team. So.
Exactly.
You know
but not only that, but it being as a more team-oriented sport. Like, we know San Antonio got 3 guys on their team that's going to be Hall of Famers. Tim Duncan just got in. You know Ginobili and Parker are going to get in. There'll be NBA players who are internationally known.
Yeah. Exactly.
The other one's from Argentina. And remember, Manu Ginobili won that gold medal against the USA against
Lebron. But you gotta beat the great teams. So I mean, I don't even fault him for losing in 2007.
That's what I'm doing. When you
swept,
that's what I'm saying.
Not getting swept. I think if he would have been, like I said, if we would have brought 2018 LeBron to 27, that would have been a series.
Right. Yeah.
2007, that would have been a series. But yeah, so it's 2 losses that you fought him for. 2011. Really, you can say 3.
That was 2010.
2011. It was
to Dallas?
Yeah,
I thought it was 2010.
Dallas was 2011, I believe. That's when Rose won MVP, 2011. So, 2011 season, I forgot which Heat season that they lost to the San Antonio. You can fault them for that one, and you can fault them for losing to Golden State the last time. Well, that wasn't the last time. That was
you talking about when they lost with Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Man, ain't wasn't no in the hell we gonna beat them, bro.
That
was after Kyrie will go.
This why I don't.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Him on the level of Jordan.
No.
How can you say that?
Because you ain't see what happened in game 1, bro. How you overturn the charging call where the player's foot was inside the circle, and he didn't even beat the player to the spot.
Man, they got mollywopped that series. You can't just blame it on that.
Yeah, they got mollywopped after game 1. All the momentum was gone. But when you come out, you score 50 points against a team.
Now, I ain't talking about that series. That's
the last time he played.
Not the last time. I'm talking about the time before when they had Kyrie, and Kevin Love healthy, and they went against them. Well, now you can fall.
They lost in 5.
Yeah, they got that's mollywop.
Yeah, but they were gonna lose either way, bro. Wasn't nobody gonna beat KD them, bro.
Bro,
that is the greatest.
That's what I'm saying. You see that's how you see how you talk about KD?
Yeah.
That's how we talk about Jordan.
But I'm just keeping it real. You're talking about the Jordan wasn't playing on a team that had another. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would have made for a better team.
So damn, there it is. Well, I mean, like I say, man, you got your opinion, bro. But when I look at the fact that his style of play calls for that, you know what I'm saying? So I say the way the league is set up calls for it, the style of play he has. Because defensively, you looking at strategies, you don't look at the fact, the reason why he had the ball in his hand a lot, because he can see the defensive, you know what I'm saying, setup. He has to, because they always come with different looks. Mm-hmm. Teams used to try to come with different looks, even when Jordan played. They tried to disguise their man coverage, even though they still try to play like a man zone, but they had to cover it up. Mm-hmm. They couldn't make it look obvious. Mm-hmm. That's why I say you couldn't get away with the stuff in the 90s that you can get away with now as far as defensive strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like I can't really knock LeBron with his style of play because he do what he can. And for him to have 4 rings, keep in mind he was an underdog in like 8 finals, okay? You're an underdog, but you got 4 rings. You know what I'm saying? You're an underdog 8 times out of 10 appearances. Mm-hmm. So you're only supposed to have 2 rings, but he got 2 more. Even with the blunder with Dallas.
See, like the fact that he's even an underdog in these finals, like,
and he's the greatest player in the world. That's a testament to his competition, bro. I just said when I broke down.
He's not the greatest player in the world no more.
Well, he's still, of course, he's been hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying,
he ain't been the greatest player in the world since,
I don't know.
In my opinion, 2016.
Talking about his last year when he won the finals, and he was only all-star of the team because Kyrie was hurt early in the year. And
was that 2015 to 2016?
Talking about when they beat Golden State 73-9.
That was the last year he was the best player in the league.
If I'm not mistaken, it was
so who the best player is now?
Steph Curry.
I'm not. The dude can shoot. But you talking about best player in the league?
I'm gonna tell you why he's the best player in the league. The impact that he brings to his teams. You have to double team this man from 35 feet. He got at the end of the game. He did what LeBron does at the end of the game, which they criticize him for, which I don't agree with all the time. He created the best shot. Draymond Green was wide open at the end of regulation,
and he could have took the shot.
And he could have just took a wide open free throw jump shot. That's exactly what you want in that situation. You want your players to create the best shot possible, which is mainly what LeBron does. Now the only reason that people overly critical is you're the best talent on the team. So if you had a great mid-range game, the best shot for you to be is a mid-range pull-up, which is when you see people take the last shot, that's normally what you see, a mid-range pull-up, because that's the hardest. It's one of the hardest things to guard.
Right.
And you're almost guaranteed to get that shot off. You know what I'm saying? So I think people criticize LeBron because he ain't got that in his game, and that might have helped him at these end of game situations. For instance, I could take you against a game against the Bulls when they run all these pick and rolls and they get LeBron these matchups that be favorable. But if you're gonna go all the way to the paint, the team gonna be able to help in the paint.
Right.
At the end of the game, what you know that you could do is go hard at the paint and then take a pull up mid range, because most of the time that's gonna be, if not uncontested, you're gonna be able to get it off.
Right.
So, like for instance, he had a game against the Bulls where they switched off and Joakim Noah was on him. Joakim Noah was playing off of him a little bit for the drive, and he went in for the drive, and Joakim Noah blocked it at the end of the game, just because LeBron ain't had no confidence in that mid range pull up.
Right.
Which is that, he has some holes in his game that Michael Jordan just didn't have. Michael Jordan was one of the most complete players we know.
I'd say I can easily say he was a better scorer.
Better scorer.
I'd say slightly
more reliable
better.
Scorer.
I'd say slightly better, but I can't say more reliable because if we talking about more clutch, Ron's more clutch than Jordan.
See, the clutch is not just the last shot.
That's what I'm saying. No, statistically, when the clutch is being able to
minutes.
Save your team.
The last 2 minutes.
Saving your team from
if you look up the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, LeBron is one of the worst. That's when his percentages go down.
But that's one, and hey, that's a good point you made, because Jordan's is even worse before the 6 ring story. And then that's why I tell people that Jordan is an entertaining player to watch. But this playing style didn't turn into wins until they got the right coaching personnel around him. And then when you look at the way the league was set up, the way the league was set up, it wasn't setting up. Wasn't no team we can really name that was consistently anything like the Bulls. Even in the first 3-peat, because the teams he was beating, like Lakers, they was on the decline, and Detroit was on the decline. So the teams that were beating that was up and coming, Clyde Drexler by himself, no Hall of Fame help.
Clyde Drexler had a squad.
No. They did have, if you want to say they had a squad for that time.
Terry Porter, Duckworth,
Terry Porter,
Robinson.
Yes,
they had a squad. Man.
Yeah, but they weren't. But they weren't what the Bulls had. Bulls could defend.
The Bulls had Jordan and Pippen.
And that's two Hall of Famers.
Pippen.
When you talking about, bro, Horace Grant used to do his thing, bro.
Yeah, Horace Grant was good, but he's a role player.
No. The reason why I say that, when the year Jordan retired, Horace Grant got his first All-Star appearance, right? Mm-hmm. Then the next year, the Horace goes to Orlando, and Chicago is struggling to get in the playoffs. And then people come up with the narrative that Jordan came back and saved them, helped get in the playoffs, which in a sense he did. But it wasn't because Jordan wasn't there that they were struggling. Because the year before, they won 55 games, right? In 94, they won 55 games without MJ. Just keep it real.
Okay, but when he came back, they went what?
No,
17-4, or some shit like that.
I know what you're saying, but the teams that they had left in that stretch wasn't all. They weren't like the.
I don't care. You went 17-4.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm not knocking this.
From 34 and what 34 and 30.
Look, I feel what you're saying. They got in the playoffs. Jordan got them in, but what I'm saying is those teams weren't like. It's tough for people to try to make out the people. You actually look at the teams they beat. You know what I mean? A lot of them were barely over 500. Okay. And the teams they struggled with in that run, like they had a favorable matchup. I'll just say that in that run. But anyway, they got it done. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals and they lost, right? Mm-hmm. They lost to Orlando. And who was on that team? Horace Grant.
And Shaq.
And he was one of the boys. And he out.
Yeah,
exactly. This is my point. The next year, the Bulls going to get who? Dennis Rodman. Okay. When they play Orlando again in the Eastern Conference Finals. What happened? Horace Grant gets hurt. They get swept.
Well, Horace Grant, you making it seem like
I'm saying yes. His impact was that serious because of.
No.
He was.
Most of that impact was Jordan coming back in shape. In basketball shape.
Bro, if that was the case, they didn't have to
close out games.
No, but if that's the case, they never had to go get Robin. But we talking about
Robin helped out. We don't want to say Robin didn't help. But Robin helped them in the paint.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't have that paint defender.
No, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And when you look at Jordan's stats, this is the deal I got. When he played in the finals against Seattle, he had a worse series in that final that he won than he did against Orlando.
Not necessarily true. He had 2 bad games after he went up 3-0.
Statistically, I can pull it up right now.
Right, but if you take them 2 games out there, them 2 bad games he had, his stats weren't really that bad.
You know why he didn't? Because he had them. Sorry, who dead that Struff was holding him?
Hersey Hawkins.
See, he would never guard him.
Hersey Hawkins.
And Hersey Hawkins, wasn't he on that Blazers team?
Maybe.
I'm not sure he was on that team.
Might be.
But my point is, those teams weren't all that great, and people don't acknowledge that. But the first thing they do to try to knock LeBron with Jordan.
Those teams was great. Now that's where we disagree. That's the main disagreement I think.
I would say they were great for that era, but they still weren't.
You got to judge them for the era they was in.
No. But they weren't touching the Bulls, and that's not just because.
That's because of Jordan. Mainly because of Jordan.
Bro, there's no way. I'm gonna tell you the problem you're gonna have. When Larry Bird did 76 games in 1989, you missed 76 games. This is with a team that had 2 Hall of Famers in Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale, who was still playing at a Hall of Fame level. Mm-hmm. You got Dennis Johnson, who was another Hall of Famer, who was on average about 10 a game, but he wasn't playing that much. He was on his way out. Mm-hmm. You still had another young cat. What's the buddy's name? Man, he ended up dying. I can't think of that big name right now.
I know you're talking about Reggie Lewis.
Exactly, Reggie Lewis, another young cat. Now, this team is stacked. We can agree that 89 team was better than the Bulls in 94 without Jordan.
No.
How?
No.
But you had a team with more Hall of Famers and more
just
scorers.
That Hall of... You see, you think because that Hall of...
I said and more scorers. So they still had Danny Ainge, who averaged like 16 a game.
Yeah, but Danny Ainge is a spot-up shooter. He ain't no scorer.
But still averaged 16 a game. Go look at what the Bulls had. Ain't no comparison, bro.
B.J. Armstrong.
Go look at the numbers. Compare the numbers. They had way more guys that was scoring in double figures. And they only ended up winning 42 games without Larry Bird. 42 games, and they got swept in the first round. This is a team that has 2 more Hall of Famers. Mm-hmm. No, they got 2 more Hall of Famers. That's 3 total Hall of Famers.
But like you said, you just said earlier that they was old. They was getting older.
One of them is old. I said 2 of them still playing at Hall of Fame level. That's Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale.
But that's one of the knocks you give against Jordan, because you say, he ain't make it through till them boys got old.
Of course, but they weren't old in 89, bro. They had just went to the finals in 88, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Or 87.
Well, you call the Pistons old. They had just went to the finals the year before.
And the Pistons went to 3 finals by the time. Yeah. That's the point. That's what I'm talking about when Jordan beat them in 91. Come on now. Yeah. So then they did their damage in the 80s. They actually supposed to 3-peat. But goddamn, when they the first time they got to the final and played the Lakers, they had that bogus call at the end that fucked them up. Yep. When Isaiah Thomas put up 40-some points with a fucked up ankle.
Yep.
Okay. So, but getting back to the whole situation, I just look at the fact that when you look at what LeBron made players do, since he went to Miami, look how many other players done went to so many teams. Like Kawhi Leonard done played on this 3rd team. Paul George, like this is 3rd team. And ain't none of them been in the league longer than LeBron. LeBron been in the league long for like 17 years. You know, been on 3 teams. So you look at somebody that got people trying to play chess to beat this man.
But he doing the same thing. That's just what they doing. That's what they doing right now.
Yeah, but when you putting together teams, you just trying to win. Like KD, like, bitch, fuck this shit. Bitch, I'm gonna stack the deck on this nigga.
That's what he was doing too. He stacked the deck when Jordan Wade and
you know why I tell you that?
No, wait. Stacking the deck.
No, know why I say that? Because Chris Bosh didn't have playoff success before joining LeBron.
Yeah.
Kevin Love didn't have playoff success before joining LeBron.
Yep.
When KD left and went to Golden State, they had already won a title.
Yeah, what KD did was different than what
exactly.
Than what
So,
LeBron
but people will say it's the same. It's not the same.
It's still talent. You talking about
of course.
top 15 players?
Look. I'm not.
LeBron joined 2 other top 15 players in the league.
Yeah. So what else are you supposed to do when you got 3 Hall of Famers in Boston? That's whooping your ass by yourself in Cleveland. Now,
I don't want to tell him what he's supposed to do, but I'm just telling you.
But I'm just telling you this is what he's doing based on the landscape of the league. He's not stacking the deck. If he was stacking the deck, he would have had a team with about 4 other Hall of Famers. If he really stacking the deck, because Boston had 3. You're talking about 4 other Hall of Famers, including himself. That's 5 on one fucking team. That's what I'm saying.
I don't just count that Hall of Fame shit.
No, but this is why
everybody, just because you're a Hall of Famer don't mean you play at a Hall of Fame level every year in your career.
No, of course, but that's why I do the Hall of Fame argument, because in the 90s, the Hall of Famers had to play at a Hall of Fame level to stand a chance. Charles Barkley was in his prime in 92, okay? But in the 80s, he played with Dr. J and Mo Cheeks and couldn't get to the finals. But you get to the finals by yourself in the 90s? You're going to tell me...
He wasn't the same player he was in 92 that he was.
Yeah, but he's still all same athleticism, whatnot. Which one?
Yeah,
of course,
he played towards the end of the Dr. J career. It wasn't like he got a prime Dr. J.
Of course, when he came in the year after, the Dr. J had won the championship in '83. He came in the league in '84.
Okay.
So Dr. J still had a good 4 more years left in him, where they could at least went to an Eastern Conference Finals or something.
He caught Dr. J at the end. Dr. J, I don't think Dr. J was in his prime when he went to that finals that year.
Man, Dr. J was balling, but they just let Moses Malone kill it. You go look at his
Moses
numbers.
Malone, I think, was
He was the dude,
force,
of course. But he was him, Moses Malone, Mo Cheeks, and they had another dude, another Hall of Fame. They had 4 Hall of Fame.
They was good in the playoffs. Who was beating their ass?
Man, Boston was.
Boston was beating their ass. Jordan beat their ass too.
No,
Jordan beat. I don't know.
Never beat Philly.
Dr. J. He definitely beat Philly.
In the playoff game? Not with Dr. J?
I don't know if Dr. J played though.
No, he wasn't.
I don't think Dr.
I know
J
he wasn't. Dr. J was going in '87.
But he beat
Philly
Barkley
in the 90s.
He beat Barkley in Philly though. That's what I know that.
Yeah, but that was during that's probably like the early '90s. Yeah. It was after Jordan. It was after Dr. J was gone, because Dr. J lost.
But that tell you, so he couldn't win when he was on the team with Dr. J though. But he went to Phoenix and made it a tougher conference.
Oh, the West was already tough. You already had teams in the West that were winning. Still had like teams like Seattle.
You got to beat Seattle. You got to beat the Rockets.
Yeah, but
you got to go
Seattle
through a lot
won
of tough
69
teams.
games.
The Jazz.
But think about this: Seattle won 69 games in the season and lost in the first round.
Shit. Yeah.
So
I remember that. I remember that year.
Yeah, that was to the Nuggets.
Now look at it. '99, the New York Knicks was the 7th seed, got to the finals in the East. Now people always say LeBron was so dominant in the East.
That was a lockout season though, wasn't
it? It exactly was. But my point is this: you got at the end of the day, is who's better team. And when you look back, it still was only one Hall of Fame on that team, and the goddamn 7 or 8 seed got to the finals.
See, and you want to know that's how that Hall of Fame argued on hold weight, because that nigga, the Hall of Famer, didn't even play.
Who you talking about?
Patrick Ewing was hurt. Marcus Camby played because Patrick Ewing was hurt. Marcus Camby was the one who led.
But that's the
Marcus
point
Camby, Latrell Sprewell, Allen Houston. They had a squad.
But
you ain't even talking about Hall of Fame, but them niggas was good.
I'm not saying, but dog, you know.
Sprewell, Houston, and Camby.
No. I'm not saying they're not good. See, that's the thing. But it's still levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Because when they argue Hall of Fame, I can show them the same year if that person played was either All NBA or an All Star. So it's not like I'm just throwing around the word Hall of Famer just for the sake of doing it. Like I can show you where they playing at that level, where whatever they average for their careers as a Hall of Famers, they either averaging that or more. So I'm not just because I don't mention other players like.
That's not true.
How? I never mentioned George Gervin. Jordan played with him. He's a Hall of Famer. I never mentioned Robert Parrish. Jordan played with him. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't just mention Hall of Famers, bro. I'm really talking about
Jason Kidd in that Dallas series.
But Jason Kidd had damn the highest 3-point percentage on that team.
Yeah, man, Jason Kidd. I don't even think Jason Kidd was averaging 10 points a game.
But you're not getting it, bro.
And you mentioned the Hall of Fame, but he was.
Yeah, but Jason Kidd was the starting point guard on a team that swept Kobe and that beat KD them in 5.
Yeah, not because of Jason Kidd.
But he was on that team and he was the starting point guard. I'm not saying it's all because of him.
Jason Kidd was not playing at a Hall of Fame level when he was playing with the Mavs.
I bet he was at least averaging 7 assists a game. And he's always been an assist man in his whole career. That's what he was known for.
Yeah, He wasn't playing at a Hall of Fame. If you look at his numbers, they wasn't Hall of Fame.
I would say, how? It's of course. I'm not saying, but he don't have to be. Go look at what he did on the court. Go look at the man had the highest 3-point percentage on the team, and he shot. I think he shot the second most threes. Period.
Yeah, he was a role player.
Well, yeah, of course, but he was a big reason why they won, bro. You say what you want.
I mean, he contributed to the success of the team.
Exactly.
But he wasn't not at a Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not gonna say. Of course, he wasn't playing like Kyrie, but he didn't have to, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he didn't have to because LeBron didn't bring Hall of Fame level type play.
Okay. If you can have that, because the way I see it, if we really want to look at it, you got Dirk. He was doing his thing. From the inside out guy. LeBron. I mean, at the end of the day, he had to do too much, and plus he was out there trying to think the game instead of playing it. Cause you'll be standing there looking crazy. You trying to figure out what they doing. JJ Barrera, here he come through. Got you.
Yeah, they played zone against him, and like I say, they played to his weakness, which is that mid-range.
Yeah, because he felt like he wasn't shooting mid-range, which he did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not arguing that. To me, the whole Dallas situation was more so a learning experience because he never played like that again. And he went to seven straight.
We never seen him play that again.
And he went to 7 straight finals after that.
Which is why I got him number 2.
So,
Well, I got him number 2, but you can't put him ahead
of
Michael Jeffrey.
Well,
Michael Jeffrey just was a different type of performer.
Like I say, he was a showman. But the style of play and the rules made allotted for that. That's what I'm saying. Now you can take a star player out. Even a player with a jump shot. Because they forced Curry to give it up and he tried to make right basketball play. So you talking about going out there just scoring, but if Curry was playing the situation where he in the 90s, where straight man to man, and he forced a double team or something, that's a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So
I think Curry would more so benefit from the 90s rules than any other current player right now.
Because you can't.
Because of the hard double team.
Yeah.
Because you have to come way out to Curry.
Exactly. Because it's rain.
See, the difference between Curry, that's why I put Curry, that's why I say Curry a better player than LeBron right now. Because the difference between Curry and LeBron, and it might even been before 2016 when LeBron gave up his best player. I still give it to him just because on the defensive end, he was still dominant at that point. But with Curry, the difference between Curry is LeBron drive to the basket and get his teams open 3-point shots. Curry bring the defense out and get his team open layups. It's totally different. It's a total difference between the two players. And people don't understand Curry's true value because they don't understand what he does off ball and the space he creates for his team. His team basically play
for layups too.
Huh?
LeBron gets people wide open for layups too.
Yeah, I mean, but not at the rate that Steph Curry does. Mainly what LeBron does.
No, man,
LeBron is a driver kicker.
But LeBron has more assists though. He has more assists in the game.
Yeah, because he got the ball in his hands more.
Yeah, but Curry has the ball a lot too. He does. He can play off the ball.
Curry got the ball at least of any superstar ever in the history of the league.
But I mean, in comparison to superstars, but he still gets the ball in his hands a considerable amount of time.
Not nowhere near as close as LeBron.
Well,
see the way Curry draw defenders is Curry don't get the assist for. Curry run off the screens, 2 defenders go with Curry, and it creates everything open. Like the rest of his team play 4-on-3.
Right. I mean,
that's what Curry do for his team.
Yeah, he creates ways, but I mean, LeBron creates ways to get his players open too. Besides,
it's just different.
Exactly, it's to their skill set.
Your role players are much more susceptible to hit a layup than to shoot a 3. So,
gotcha. But that's why they build their team around guys.
Curry bring the defense out. LeBron bring the defense in for the most part.
Mm-hmm. And then as a shooter, you got spacing. Shit, you can do what you want on the floor.
And he's still dropping 30.